Here's a quick Spanish grammar test you can take in the next few minutes. Just watch and try to answer the questions in Spanish correctly, and stop as soon as it gets too hard for you. Based on how far you get in this video, the test will immediately tell you which of the online accelerated Spanish lessons you should jump into to rebuild your Spanish fluency for free. So here's the format. I'm going to present a sentence in English like this one. Notice that only some words are in bold italics. So you should try to guess how those words are going to change into Spanish words in the Spanish version of the sentence. These first three examples are going to use words just from Lesson 1 of Accelerated Spanish. In this case, try to translate these two words, and first of all, think about how the sentence should be structured. So, here's the Spanish.
Una chica lo tenía.
Now, another thing about this test is you can ignore the Spanish that isn't in bold. The rest of these words aren't taught in Lesson 1. What's really important is those bold words. So if you got this right with una and lo, then let's keep going. Second example. He saw her around there, and we're only translating her and around. And then make sure you get the her in the right place in the sentence. So the Spanish is,
Él la vio por ahí.
Again, ignore the Spanish aside from those two words, la and por, since the rest isn't taught in Lesson 1. If you're good with those, let's keep going. Otherwise, you should use Lesson 1 from Accelerated Spanish. Next example. Why? The man was not at home. Here's the Spanish.
Porque el hombre no estaba en casa.
If you were good with porque, él, no, and en, then great job. You're probably good with Lesson 1 of Accelerated Spanish. Let's go to Lesson 2. So here's the first example. You and I were friends because of that. Here's the Spanish.
Tú y yo éramos amigos por eso.
So the Spanish words you should have here are y yo éramos, and then the word por. Now, if you said fuimos instead of éramos, then you're correct. But if you guessed any other word, then you should go to Lesson 2 of Accelerated Spanish. Next example. You aren't the boss, she is. Here's the Spanish.
Tú no eres el jefe, ella lo es.
So if you got any of these words wrong, and if you didn't put lo before es at the end, then you should probably use Lesson 2 of Accelerated Spanish. Next example. I want you to be my teacher. Here's the Spanish.
Yo quiero que seas mi maestra.
In this case, you could have said sea instead of seas if you were using the usted version of you. But if you didn't think to use sea or seas at all, then you should go to Lesson 2 of Accelerated Spanish. All right, the next three are from Lesson 3 of Accelerated Spanish. This first one is entirely in Spanish. I am what I am. Here's the Spanish.
Soy lo que soy.
Next example. But I told him something. Make sure that you not only know these bold words, but you also get the structure right. Here's the Spanish.
Pero yo le dije algo.
All right, if you got pero yo le, then you're good to go. But if you didn't put that le in the right place in the sentence, then you should probably go to Lesson 3 of Accelerated Spanish. Next example. I did it so that you would be the winner. Here's the Spanish.
Yo lo hice para que seas el ganador.
Remember, you can ignore hice and ganador, but all of these bold words, including the order that they're in, are really important for making sure that you can get past Lesson 3 of Accelerated Spanish. The next few examples are going to be from Lesson 4. First, I don't want him to be there. Here's the Spanish.
No quiero que él esté allí.
So, ignoring quiero and allí, did you get all of these bold words correct? Last one for Lesson 4. They have been very well. Here's the Spanish.
¿Han estado muy bien?
All right, if you're good with everything so far, let's go on to Lesson 5 of Accelerated Spanish. First example, it's nothing. Here's the Spanish.
No es nada.
At this point, all of the rest of the sentences in this video are going to be entirely in Spanish. Next example, he will be here until you're here. Here's the Spanish.
Estará aquí hasta que tú estés aquí.
Next, this house is the one that is for her. Here's the Spanish.
Esta casa es la que es para ella.
If you got everything correct so far, let's finally go on to Lesson 6 of Accelerated Spanish. First example, I'm going to be there. Here's the Spanish.
Yo voy a estar ahí.
Next, she had to leave. Here's the Spanish.
Ella se tuvo que ir.
Last example, someone will have had it. Here's the Spanish.
Alguien lo habrá tenido.
All right, well, if you've gotten everything correct in this test and it was really easy for you, then keep watching for further videos where we'll test whether you can use a later lesson of Accelerated Spanish. Meanwhile, you can find all of the lessons that I mentioned in this video in the link in the description. There's also plenty of quizzing material there to help you practice all of this foundational grammar in Spanish. If you want to see the more advanced test we're going to put out to test whether you can use Accelerated Spanish Lessons 7, 8, 9, or any of the following ones, subscribe to this channel and you'll get that video as soon as it's released.